The story kicks off with a villain confessing to Judy and Nick about all the wicked schemes she's carried out, particularly involving framing others. However, Judy reveals she has recorded every word of the confession. The news quickly spreads about how Zootopia's first rabbit officer, Judy, and a street-smart fox, Nick, exposed Mayor Bellwether's conspiracy using a toy carrot voice recorder. Impressed by his talents, Nick is offered a spot in the police force, making him and Judy the city's inaugural bunny-fox police duo. Fast forward to the present, and at the police station, Chief Bogo briefs the force on a new case. A customs inspector has been smuggling illegal cargo into Zootopia's shipyard. He assigns tasks to each officer, but instructs Judy and Nick to simply observe, since they are rookies. Soon, he notices their absence from the briefing, and Officer Clawhauser informs him that the duo has already gone after the suspect. Disguised as a married couple with a fake baby, Judy and Nick infiltrate the shipyard. They encounter Inspector Snootly, who initially tells them to leave, but Nick spins a story about celebrating their baby's birthday and having him sign the child's clothing, distracting Snootly. Taking advantage of the moment, Judy attempts to open a container to uncover Snootly's smuggling operation. A voice over her speaker orders her to wait for backup. Realizing the intruders are police, Snootly jumps into his van to flee. Judy and Nick give chase, causing chaos through Zootopia, culminating in the destruction of the city's founder statue. Despite the wreckage, they manage to apprehend Snootly, though Judy notices a snake slithering away and finds some shed scales. Outside Chief Bogo's office, Judy watches a podcast revealing that snakes were banned from Zootopia, with the last one sighted over 150 years ago. Furious at the havoc they've caused, Bogo scolds Judy and Nick, cutting her off as she tries to mention the snake evidence. Worried about their recklessness, he threatens to split them up if they fail a new assignment, seeing a therapist, Dr. Fuzzby, who specializes in fixing dysfunctional partnerships. During therapy, Judy is criticized for always taking charge, while Nick is called out for being overly self-conscious. Frustrated, they nevertheless agree to cooperate and save their positions, though the rest of the department mocks them. At home, Nick lounges idly, avoiding work, while Judy contends with a long phone call from her parents before turning her attention to the news. She spots a van at a gala hosted by the Linksleys that looks identical to Snootly's vehicle, suspecting a connection. She contacts Nick, convinced snakes might be smuggled into the city again, possibly to steal the Linksleys' journal. Seeing an opportunity to prove themselves and earn respect, Nick joins her investigation. Disguised in formal attire, they sneak into the gala. Judy heads for the journal, colliding with the youngest Linksley, Paubert, and the two quickly become friends. Meanwhile, Nick spots a shed snake's skin and hooded figure sneaking around. Before he can warn Judy, Chief Bogo finds him. The hooded figure is revealed to be Gary, the snake, who terrifies the gala guests and captures Milton Linksley, along with the journal. Judy pleads with Gary not to harm Milton. Gary explains that snakes have been misunderstood and that the journal holds proof of Milton's wrongdoing. Misunderstanding the situation, Nick knocks Gary out with a pan. Milton's children arrive, and he orders the snake killed while threatening Judy and Nick to cover up the incident. Judy starts a fire to keep the Linksleys at bay, and Gary is thrown out a window, rescued by an unknown figure on a bike. Judy and Nick escape with the journal, aided by Mr. Big, now running an apparel business with his granddaughter Frou Frou. Mr. Big offers fake passports to help them flee Zootopia, but Judy refuses, determined to take down the Linksleys. He reveals their deep ties to the underworld and their massive influence, including constructing Zootopia's weather pillars. Nick considers leaving, but Judy convinces him to help Gary. With Frou Frou's assistance, they reach podcaster Nibbles Maple Stick, a longtime advocate for reptile existence in Zootopia. Nibbles leads them to Marsh Market, a district suffering under the Linksley schemes. There, they enter a sunken ship that serves as a reptile hideout. They meet Jesus, who refuses assistance until they eat his food, only to reveal he was joking. Examining the journal with its metal cover, he explains that a hidden message can only be seen with special eyes. Their investigation is cut short when the ZPD arrives, forcing Judy and Nick to flee. Jesus provides them a boat for escape, trusting they'll save the city again and prove that reptiles aren't so different. Gary grabs the journal and runs, leading to a chase through water tunnels. Unable to stay submerged, they emerge frustrated. Lost between Marsh Market and Gary's destination, Nick berates Judy for landing them in trouble again. Two goats guide them to an abandoned hideout atop a mountain commonly used by reptiles. While climbing, Nick teases Judy with her carrot recorder, leading to a playful scuffle that breaks it, angering her. Meanwhile, the ZPD continues to track their movements. They reach the lodge just as police find a damaged recorder, track them inside. Judy discovers pieces of shed snakeskin. Nick almost slips and warns her that officers are closing in. Judy spots a newspaper exposing Ebenezer Linsley's scheme to enlarge Tundra Town by capturing snakes. She learns reptiles once had their own districts and finds a photo of Gary's relatives. Nick begs her to drop the investigation, convinced it'll get them killed. Judy argues the truth still has to come out. A police raid tears the house apart. Nick is taken into custody, and Judy floats off on shattered debris. Paubert pulls her to safety with Gary's help. Judy faces a dilemma: rescue Nick or continue chasing the truth. She chooses to help Gary while Nick escapes alone. Officers fire darts at Judy, but Gary drags her away as the home collapses. She later wakes to learn Paubert has been taken, leaving her heartbroken. Mayor Wynne Dancer questions Nick, who refuses to talk and is thrown in a cell. Milton orders Marsh Market added to the expansion and demands punishment for Nick over Judy's death. Kitty offers a tuft of Paubert's fur as evidence. Milton commands that the journal be recovered. Gary promises Judy they'll rescue Nick and coughs up the hidden book. They reach Paubert's hideout, where he admits he secretly aided Gary after reading his letter, smuggling documents to reveal what truly happened to reptiles. Judy mourns leaving Nick behind, but Paubert promises they'll ignite a light signal for Gary to use his heat vision to expose the journal's truth. Gary's great-grandmother, Agnes, was the real founder of Zootopia and the Weather Wall. She worked alongside Ebenezer until he erased her name and took the credit in her journal. Her maid uncovered the deception and was murdered. Agnes stayed silent out of fear. Ebenezer spread myths about reptiles, forcing them out. The maid hid the original patent. Gary traced where the reptiles once lived, and Judy reveals a photo containing a tower. They decide to restore power to the reptile district and track down Agnes's old home and the patent. Milton traces Judy through her phone. Nick is locked up and meets Nibble, who asks what happened to his partnership. Nick explains Judy thinks they're too different and admits he's terrified of losing her. Touched, Nibble fashions a key and frees him. In the process, they accidentally open all the cells, releasing every inmate. Prisoners flee in stolen police vehicles. A speeding driver stops for Nick. It's Flash. Bellwether escapes as well. Elsewhere, Judy and her team move toward the weather wall. She outlines the mission: slip through the door, locate the switch, and activate the tower. Nick rings Clawhauser, asking him to track Judy by accessing Paul's computer. Clawhauser distracts Paul and struggles with a tiny password. Judy and the group reach the weather wall as police arrive by tracking her phone. Judy smashes it. They sprint through the burning mammal festival with officers close behind. Judy runs into Gazelle, who helps them and fights off the zebra police. Nick learns Judy's location at the weather wall entryway. The Linsleys notice and instruct their forces to pursue. Tranquilizer shots fill the air. Judy shields Paubert, but Nick speeds in with Flash's car and rescues them. Judy and her allies enter the wall, leaving Nick outside. Inside, she uncovers a passage leading to Tundra Town's power switch. She activates it and searches the snowy interior for the tower. They find it. Judy spots Nick on CCTV and prepares to assist him, but Nibble lets him through. Suddenly, Paubert betrays them, injecting Judy with a drug and hurling Gary into the freezing area. He claims both he and Judy are underdogs, and betraying them gives him worth. Nick is next. Judy insists he isn't like the others, but Paubert walks away. Judy and Gary fight the serum's effects. Nick searches the icy halls. Paubert corners Nibble and injects her too. Nick enters an ice-filled chamber and confronts Paubert, who's armed. Gary tells Judy she changed everything, fulfilling Agnes's dream for Zootopia. Using Judy's warmth, he slowly heals her, but she collapses. Officers arrive and surround Gary. Nick and Gary are outmatched. Gary spots anti-venom in Paubert's pack. Nick fights Paubert while Gary urges him to grab the antidote. The ice cracks beneath their feet. The anti-venom slides toward the edge. Nick vows Judy is worth dying for and risking a deadly fall, throws the antidote to Gary. Gary administers a shot to Judy, reviving her. As the ice beneath them collapses, Judy dashes to reach Nick, rescuing him just as Paubert falls. They hug, and Nick admits that he isn't concerned with their differences, he cares about her. Before they can savor the moment, Paubert speeds away on a snowmobile, aiming to destroy the patent. They give chase. Paubert calls his father, confessing all about the stolen patent, but Judy and Nick arrive in the nick of time to intervene. Nibble and Gary confront the Linsleys, while Judy and Nick focus on stopping Paubert. With a smart truck maneuver, they push through the bushes and catch up to him. Judy faces off against Paubert, who initially overpowers them until Gary and Nibble join the fight. Frustrated by corruption, the mayor steps in and takes down the Linsleys herself. Paubert is taken into custody. Later, the group visits the reptile district and finds Gary's grandmother's old house. Inside, they discover her preserved inventions, including the original patent. Paubert returns, attempting to burn the place down, but is apprehended once again. News spreads quickly. Nick and Judy, along with Gary and Nibble, reveal the Linsleys' crimes, leading to their downfall. Marsh Market becomes part of Zootopia. Judy and Nick are hailed as heroes. Reptiles are welcomed back, and Gary is reunited with his family. Nick gifts Judy her carrot-shaped recorder once more. The story ends with the duo embarking on a new mission to track escaped prisoners, starting with Bellwether. The movie then came to an end. Kindly subscribe for more movie recap like this. Thanks for watching and goodbye.